Oregano oil is often talked about as a natural antimicrobial, but how does it actually work inside the body? The main active compounds in oregano oil are carvacrol and thymol. These are phenolic compounds, and in laboratory studies they've been shown to kill bacteria by disrupting their cell membranes. Essentially, they make the bacterial membrane more permeable, causing leakage of ions and vital contents. They can also interfere with bacterial enzymes and, at higher concentrations, even promote oxidative stress in microbes. When you consume oregano oil, the compounds are absorbed in the digestive tract. Since they're fat-soluble, absorption is better if the oil is taken with dietary fats. Once absorbed, most of the carvacrol and thymol undergo metabolism in the liver, especially through conjugation processes like glucuronidation and sulfation. Because of this metabolism, only a fraction of the ingested oil makes it into systemic circulation. In humans, exact numbers haven't been firmly established, but from animal studies we know that the systemic bioavailability is probably less than 20%. An interesting point is whether oregano oil compounds can cross the blood-brain barrier. Carvacrol is a small lipophilic molecule, which are properties that usually allow entry into the brain. Animal studies have shown that carvacrol does reach brain tissue after ingestion, and it seems to have some neurological effects, such as mild sedation or calming effects through GABA-A receptor modulation. However, the concentrations that reach the brain are quite low, and there's no evidence in humans that oregano oil achieves antibacterial effects inside the central nervous system. This is why there's an important difference between test tube studies and real-world use. In vitro, oregano oil shows strong antibacterial activity because the bacteria are in direct contact with high concentrations of the compound. Inside the human body, it's different. The oil is diluted, metabolized, and cleared fairly quickly, which makes it unlikely to reach the same killing concentrations against bacteria in most tissues. That's why oregano oil isn't considered a reliable systemic antibiotic through simple ingestion. Where it may have more benefit is locally, for example, directly in the gut, the mouth, or when applied to the skin. So, in short, oregano oil's antibacterial action comes from membrane disruption and enzyme interference. Its systemic bioavailability is fairly low, under 20%. Carvacrol can cross the blood-brain barrier, but likely at levels too low to act as a true antimicrobial in the brain. Most of the antibacterial hype comes from lab results, while in the body the effects are much weaker and more limited to local action. Subscribe and follow our channel where you can learn from real medical scientists.